Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find intelligent species, ritual extirpation, undesirable odors from another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past might repeat itself? Watch them and pray.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, those joining the military to be trained for the inevitable bloody conflict between tea and coffee drinkers, and anyone who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. I'm your host, Tasker, and we have Nick.
I'll take a stand immediately on that conflict. Coffee all the way, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, I like tea, but I feel like coffee is... I definitely drink it more frequently. I feel like it has a stronger utility, but I do like the flavor and the tea culture. Like, I think it's kind of fun.
I think it's dainty, right? I think it's it's like a what do they call those guys? I can't say that on the podcast, but I'll tell you what, I'm not British, right?
Yeah.
So, there you go. I know we have listeners from different places in the UK, and we appreciate your listens, but I don't appreciate the fact that you guys drink tea all the time.
Yeah, I think they drink coffee too. I don't think it's tea. No, maybe you're right. I think it is tea all the time. But there's an advantage to that too, because with tea you could drink it like multiple times throughout the day, and like coffee, yes, you can do that too. And in America, that's more common because we have an overworked workforce, and our government and CEO overlords don't give a shit about us. But in the UK, with tea, like you could have tea in the morning, you could have tea, right before lunch, you could have tea at lunch, and you're not over caffeinating.
Yeah, but then you're sitting there with your little cup and your pinky sticking out, and you got scones. Like, who eats something called scones, right?
Yeah, well, it's
weird. It's weird, man. I'm not trying to be all fucking xenophobic, and I'm not trying to like call out the UK, but it's just call them what they are, dude. They're pieces of bread, right?
Yeah.
And you're drinking water that's made with flowers and shit. And that's what you and you guys think you can make rhyme and you can make all this fucking UK rap and be all hard, and you finish a recording session in the studio, you just finish your new grime album, you go home and you start sucking on some Earl Grey like you're fucking the Queen of England. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like, getting a snack break 4 times a day, it doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah, a snack break, dude. Like, when I take a snack break, I want some beef jerky, right? I want some fucking eggs or something. I don't want to go and I don't want to start, look, I don't want to sound like a broken record.
Yeah. But in the US, a snack break isn't a break. It is that's why the beef jerky works, because, with tea and scones, you got to sit down and really enjoy it. Beef jerky, you could just grab and go, because in America, we don't get breaks. We get, hey, if you have food in your pocket, you can eat while you work. But if you fuck it up, then you can't eat anymore.
That's true. I'm not going to fight that, because yes, we are getting closer and closer to Japan in that sense. Yes. Minus the cool porn where they censor the private parts. We don't have all the cool stuff. So,
which is such a dumb law, because that's a law. That's why they do that, is because of laws. And that's also a fun fact for you. That's why the anime tentacle thing happened. It was a way to circumvent censorship laws, because technically they weren't peni.
Yeah, well, close enough, man. Jesus, that's oh my goodness. So you didn't have to bring up hentai. You didn't have to bring up like cartoon porn, but you did.
Dude. I found that part of TikTok, the anime TikTok, and there's apparently a lot of people who've made a solid living giving the numbers, I'll say, for certain characters and stuff like that. Like, there's a whole community about it, man. It's normalizing. How do you feel about that?
I think it's disgusting, honestly. I think, and it's not just like the fact that it's okay. Well, that's a huge part, is that I know what hentai consists of. I know that there's a lot of really strange fetishes in there.
Yeah. But you could say the same with normal porn too.
Sure, but the problem with anime porn is the sky's the limit. Your imagination is the limit, because you can make it a reality. So there's some very strange things in there that do not happen in real life.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. And I think the fact that it's normalizing is dangerous for our youth. And I think that it's troublesome. And I think it's turning people into big fat neck beards.
Yeah, well, okay, riddle me this though. I think the one thing about like that hentai has over like actual porn itself is the fact that the only ones being harmed in the making of it are the animators, because I'm sure they're not getting paid a fair wage for it. But I mean, like, none of the human trafficking is a problem. Like, it's all their drawings, so no actual human beings have to like, sell their bodies, especially if they don't want to and stuff like that. So one could say it's a little bit more of a cleaner form of it.
Yeah, if you like prepubescent children being fucked by octopi, I guess, then I guess it's not hurting anybody, is it?
That's like saying that like every single porn video has some form of gape like fantasy with like harsh BDSM bloodletting and stuff like that. It's just like if you can't give one extreme and say that all of it is it. Although I will admit the example you gave is there is a lot of it out there.
Yeah, and there's a reason I brought that up is because I know there's a lot of it out there, and it's normal. It's becoming normal, which is, and you can't. People hide behind the like you did. It's a drawing, man. It's just a drawing. I was like, I don't give a fuck if it's a drawing. It's still depicting something that should not be jerked off to.
Well, I think that's kind of your own problem. Like, I think
what? That's my okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be you know what? For once in my life on this podcast, I'm trying to be a decent human being and stand up for what's right. And you called me an asshole.
That was not directed towards you. I was saying for the people who do jerk off to like that sort of like lolly shit, that seems like a problem that they need to solve on their own. Like, do you know who Shadman is?
No.
That's good. Shadman is considered to be one of the most widely despised artists on the internet because of his known because his artwork depicts like all that, like basically the most shock value shit you could possibly think of. So including all the like lolly pedo garbage, like that's like his like shtick, and he got famous for just shamelessly doing all that. He actually just got arrested for assault, which with a deadly weapon, which is not exactly. We all thought he'd go down for CP, but yeah.
Doesn't sound like a stable person, man. Assault was not out of the question.
Yeah, but people like that, like that's the thing is like that's something where you need to start getting help for. I think if anything, it's a good litmus test of like, oh, if you watch hentai, oh, like and the stuff you watch is like vanilla or like something a little offbeat every now and then. Okay, you're normal. There's probably no real abnormalities, but like if it's just like strictly like lolly shit, then like. Okay, maybe if you're enjoying it a little too much, or if that's your only intake and you just can't enjoy anything else, maybe you got to look inward.
Actually, I would look outward for help, man. Looking inward seemed to be the problem in the first case.
I think you're probably right. Great start to today's episode. Hello, everybody. This is a Kickback episode.
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying this format because I'll still tell jokes and I'll still like be a contrarian. Like I was, by the way, called out by a fan. Yeah, I'm a bit of a contrarian. All right.
I love that. That's a fun way of saying hypocrite, huh?
Yeah. No, his analysis was very astute.
You do just like, damn. Yeah. Like just ripped into, man. How does that feel?
It feels good. I'll take it, man. And so, you know what? The point of me bringing that up was like on these Kickback episodes, I like them because I can still joke. I can still like rub Tasker the wrong way by, bashing on things that he likes.
True.
But also I can kind of be myself a little bit more. And like today, I'm super hungover. I had a bunch of Indian food last night. You know what I mean? And
I thought that was like a type of drink for a second. I'm like, how do you order that?
No, dude, my stomach is on fire. Like I've been shitting. I had the extremely spicy option for my goat curry, and my God.
Yeah, I remember you said because you told me last night when you were because you just I think we talked about this before how you have a new rabbit friend that lives in your house now, and you were showing me your rabbit, and then also you were like, oh, and by the way, I got what was it, curry?
Yeah,
like was it the hottest, or it was like a level 7 or something? Was that it?
It was. So they had 3 levels. Okay, now I live in a state that's not known for its spice because of the literal majority of white people that live here
Mhm.
And so I always take spice, and I always underestimate restaurants and their spice because of that. So it was my first time trying this Indian restaurant near me. I was like, okay, so there's mild, spicy, and extremely spicy. Those were the three options for the curry. I said, of course I'm going to get extremely spicy because they probably just put like 3 drops of Tabasco in it, knowing this state, right?
Right.
So I eat it, and then I text Tasker after I finish eating it, because I'm in a daze, and I told him, I'm like, dude, there might be some real Indian people working there because my butthole is already on fire. I just ate this thing.
Ooh, just from the farts alone.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Like, it was very tasty. The naan was a little soggy, but that was my fault because I got it delivered.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But it was good. Paying for it today. But it, I got to give it to him because it wasn't Tabasco. It was definitely some other shit. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, real Indian food does not fuck around. I think I made that mistake of now if you go to an Indian restaurant and they have spice between 1 and 10, take that shit seriously because I think I got like a 6 or a 7 because I was like, I think I'll be fine. Boy, that like almost made me regret being born. It was so fucking hot. Like and I was trying to play it cool, but like I ran out of napkin and like my nose is just, I mean, for anybody who's really astute ears probably is pieced together. I'm like perma stuffy. Like I always have a stuffy nose. I'm always like sniffling and shit, but like that just made like a week's worth of snot just start draining out of my system. And like, it was like almost felt like an actual, like, when like you like when food's too hot and like it burns, you're like, fuck. It was like a burn like that, but it was, but like not from, it wasn't even that like temperature hot. It was just that spicy that even just touching it was like caused like a visceral reaction.
That's the best kind of food, man. I know it's a pain in the ass literally like the next day, but I love it. The experience of eating something really spicy and kind of hitting that next level of consciousness that you get for like a brief moment. I love it.
Well, there's a scientific reason for that. Is genetic capsaicin is actually which is the chemical that makes spicy things spicy. It's a known mood stabilizer.
I did not know that it was a mood stabilizer. No.
Yeah, with the way it reacts to the body, like it's like spicy and stuff like that, but it kind of like almost like how with going to the gym, the pain from the gym releases endorphins. Almost like the pain from the spice sort of has a similar effect where it does have this like endorphin response like that. So actually eating spicy food, there's a reason why it makes you feel better.
Well, there you go, man. There's a science behind everything. Do I trust it? Yeah, I'd like to say it's just metaphysical, but that's just me.
We're all allowed to have opinions, huh?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. But yeah, so that was my adventure yesterday. I'm paying for it today. I also drank a lot of whiskey with it, so that mixed with like spicy goat curry in my stomach all night, and then on top of that, eating a whole bag of Lay's sour cream and onion chips because I was drunk. Not great for the morning.
And I'm props to you for being able to drink whiskey while having spicy food. That's a hard combo to like get down.
Yeah, I dug it. I put a little bit in my curry just to spice it up a little more, just to give it a kick, Oh, so good, buddy.
Yeah, because whiskey is one of those things where it's like, same with coffee, where it's like, if you just have spicy food right beforehand and then you have the coffee, it's kind of like, wow, like it's too much.
Yeah, it just tastes weird. It tastes super weird. Yeah. Like when I vape after I eat really spicy stuff, it definitely feels weird. Tastes weird.
Yeah. It's similar to also like with like mouthwash, you kind of get that extra, or a mint where it's like, you kind of can't eat things the same because you're out of whack. Things are a little too chilly.
Chili. Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Was that a Vine? That was an old meme.
It was an old Vine, yeah.
Good old days. Although, and I'm sure we brought this up before, but like, I don't know what the fuck everyone's saying. Like, Vine's better. That's my Tasker's hot take corner for the day. TikTok is better than Vine. It's better. I think, Vine had some classic memes and stuff like that. But like, y'all realize like everything fucking funny on the internet right now is coming from TikTok. Like, there's a couple other sources, but like most other websites take from TikTok, and there's some funny shit on there. Like, I don't know. I think that's a big problem too, is we get so caught up in the nostalgia of previous classics that we refuse to acknowledge the classics unfolding right in front of us and refusing to enjoy what's in front of us because it's not deemed, something we could look back on. I think it's fucking stupid.
Well, damn, man. Is that your platform for your presidency run? I mean, that was. I'm going to agree with you. If you guys look back at old Vine compilations on YouTube, you have to remember that it was cringy. It was very, very, very cringe, and there were very few that made me laugh out loud because, they're all iconic. Like you can repeat a lot of them.
Yeah,
but they're still cringe. A lot of TikTok is cringe, but at least there's some edgy humor on there that's pretty funny. It's
like any good art movement, 90% of it is garbage. Like it's just that's every art movement that's ever happened historically, and Vine is no different, and TikTok is no different. I think TikToks are hilarious when they're hilarious, and I also feel like there's a much broader spectrum and a much higher level of accessibility, because I mean with Vine, once the top 30 creators were established, that was it. Nobody else could really make anything and really get known for it, unless you did something insane. And even then, we had our King Batch and all those people were just on top of it. And then when Vine started shutting down, they were like, hey, we'll super push for the platform to stay on, but you need to pay us all $1 million. And they're like, yeah, we'll just take the bankruptcy.
Yeah, Jesus, man. They think they did it's and you look back at King Batch and all those guys, shit was cringe. So think and now what's even worse is because they don't have Vine anymore. I've seen some of these old Viners coming to they're doing commercials. I think King Batch had a bit part in this movie I watched the other day, and I was like, ugh, God, it's stop trying to be relevant. It's I could hardly stand you back then.
He had one day a year ago where he trended on Twitter for some stupid See, I don't even remember what it was. It's just, some people their time has come and gone. What's her face? Lele Pons. She was just kind of funny. What do you call it? What's that humor? Slapstick. And then she remembered that she was a girl, and then all of her videos just became shaking boobs and butt and stuff like that. And and she was really young, which is pretty disturbing. She was I think 17 or something for a lot of her early career, or even younger for all we know. And then she blew up like crazy. And like you were saying, a lot of these people, they're I don't know. I just think it's nice that we can hear. I think that's what I like about TikTok more than Vine, is that we can just hear it more from the ground level. And sometimes it's just cool to hear it, just a fucking story of just some dude living in Arkansas who's just had some crazy shit happen to him. I like that a lot more. I feel it's more of a connection to actual people who I mean, it's the internet, you could dress shit up whatever, but it feels less manufactured. I think it feels a little bit more genuine. And I mean, and that's not saying a whole lot because it's TikTok and there's some fake ass shit on there for sure, but I don't know, that's kind of my take on it. I think, like you said, it's just it feels less cartoonish, and it feels we don't have to keep pretending that these unfunny people are funny.
Yep. Yes, Cerritos Auto Square. Right. That's true.
It's a good commercial. That's my commercial for TikTok. I got paid $0 for it, and
damn.
I hope maybe that'll change someday.
Don't worry, but hey, you know what? Because the whole tie with China, your social credit went up very high because of that. So congratulations!
Thank fucking God, Bing Chilling. You seen that, right?
Bing Chilling. Yeah. What is up with John Cena and this China stuff lately? Do you know what's going on? I have no clue. I know the memes, but I don't know the origin. What is he doing?
Yeah. So he actually learned Mandarin and moved to China. He lived there for a couple years.
Wait, what?
So yeah. And partially to promote Fast Furious 7 or whatever the fuck that they're called, because he was in the movie and stuff like that. And learned Mandarin, lived in China for a while. And so that video came out where it's him talking about ice cream and stuff. There was sort of a resurgence of it because he accidentally in a public while promoting Fast 7, he accidentally referred to Taiwan as a country, so he had to issue an apology to Japan that he made a big mistake. And then everyone just started fucking drilling him for it.
What?
Yeah, because he fucking kowtowed to China. And so then on top of that, with China coming up with its social credit system, it was a perfect storm of meme.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Fucking social credit, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up too. I was looking into it a little bit, and how if you're above like a certain line, it can take like up to 2 years to like get back up. And if you're like at the lowest caste system, like I guess in India, there was a thing called the undesirables or the untouchables. I mean, where it's basically like you were just completely ostracized from society, and you're basically doomed to just like be a vagrant forever because your government basically abandons you. And it's like really fucking hard to like stay up on their system, and you really do and I think, all the jokes aside, I think that's the biggest problem is the government can just be like, yeah, minus like 800, like now guess what, now you're fucking gonna be poor for the rest of your life. Like there's no real way to well, you can't really trust the Chinese government to regulate that properly.
Yeah. Any government that relies on Dave and Buster's credits in order for you to fucking live your life is not worth it to me.
And I think you stumbled upon a great example there, because at Dave and Buster's, they could kick you out whenever. They don't give a fuck, because if you're just kind of a bother, they're like, you know what, you don't get to play anymore.
Yeah, you don't get to play, and you're out of credits, buddy. So see ya.
Yeah, it's dangerous stuff. Not a good. When your government is run like a Dave and Buster's, it's not a good system. Oh my.
What's the leader of China's name again?
Xi Jinping.
Oh, geez. Sounds like a golf club company. Needs to get his shit together.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because I know things that I heard that they were gearing up for war with China was gearing up for war with Taiwan, but that hasn't happened. I know a couple years back, Russia was gearing up for war with somebody, or like there was some invasion or something, and that's happening again. And I think we were kind of talking about this earlier about in the world today. We were all so distracted by Corona that everyone's kind of like, hey, what happened to that whole like brink of World War III thing we were all hyped about in like 2018? And now it's all coming back.
Yeah, man. Papa Putin thought it would be a good idea to have like, and I think the numbers are rising. The last I checked, it was about 100K troops outside the borders of Ukraine. It might be like 150 now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anything's going to happen. I don't know what they're bitching about. To be honest with you, I don't really pay a lot of attention, as you probably could guess. I have my own problems. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to bring peace between Israel and Palestine, and I'm not trying to figure out the problem between Russia and Ukraine.
Right.
However, with that being said, though, if Russia does decide to make a move, what's the game plan? Or what have we talked? Like, has the U.S. talked about who they're gonna be? Like, are we back in Ukraine? Is it going to turn into World War III? Who knows? We don't know these things. It's kind of interesting to think about. But what's not interesting is the fact that if it gets bad enough, I mean, we got all these fucking pansexual foxkin children these days who getting drafted in my future's in their hands.
Well, that's implying that what you describe as a minority of people.
No, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think
there's a lot. You're way overestimating the number of people that fall into that category.
I have to be honest with you, bro. I feel almost like society is making me be ashamed of being somewhat mostly straight and a white person who doesn't identify as anything other than a male.
I think you're living in a vacuum, man. I think you need to go take a walk.
I'm telling you, dude. I don't know. I feel like when I meet people who are like even a few years younger than me, most of the time they're not what they appear to be. I'll be like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And they're like, "Excuse me," like they won't actually do that, but they'll be like, "Oh no, I actually am like Z, Zem, or Zed, or whatever the DJ. I don't know. It's like, and I feel weird.
Exaggerating.
Yeah,
I think you're over exaggerating. I am. How many people have you interacted with just this week?
No, Nick? None.
Yeah, that's my fucking point.
I'm just fucking. I gotta stir the pot, man. I gotta stir the pot.
Right. Well, somebody else, another side take on that was like, with war, it's like they're like, oh, like this new generation is so dainty and stuff. Like none of them. It's like, you kidding me? These nihilistic, no point, depressive. Like, dude, I'm sure actually they might be better than ever for war.
They might be, but also if they have nothing to live for, maybe they're not going to try very hard to
Well, that's
they'll
what
just
the
like
military.
they'll just like run in and like die. They're gonna have like a Al Qaeda mindset. They were like, hey man, well we don't care. Kill
Well,
us. We'll come back in waves and just keep killing us, and then see who wins. And usually it's the person who cares more.
yeah, well, I think that's where the training comes in. Is cool. You don't have a purpose. Well, guess what? This is your purpose. Do it or die. And they're kind of like, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna cut my purple hair. Jeez.
Well, yeah, you have to bust your hair if you go into the military. So you won't even know who had purple hair or blue hair beforehand.
Oh, you could tell. You could tell.
All right.
I don't know, dude. I'm
All right.
hungover.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with it. I'm just, I'm making fun of people who didn't need to take a joke. That's all.
Right. All right. Well, how about this? How about a life pro tip for the day?
Okay.
All right. It's don't save the good wine for a good day. Good wine is wasted on a good day. On a good day, all wine is good wine. Bad wine is good wine. Drink the good wine on a bad day. Now that's what it's for.
That's a good tip, man. I like that. That was smart.
Some positivity. I think it's some solid stuff right here. And because it's right. On a good day, dude, when I'm fucking having a great day and stuff like that, dude, I could drink Jim Beam like it's goddamn what's the drink that rappers drink? Hennessy.
Oh, good old Henny. I got a little bottle of Henny about a couple months ago.
Yeah, I feel like I'll have to try it again. I haven't had it because the first time I tried it, and you know me, I'm a whiskey guy. I didn't like it. I thought it was completely overrated and overpriced.
It is. And it's only cool because, of its connotation.
It's expensive, yeah. Dumb.
But yeah, it's too sweet. Cognac's usually too sweet for me anyway.
Yeah.
That's why you're supposed to mix. Don't you mix when you're making alcoholic eggnog, because the season is coming up? Isn't it cognac that you put in there, or is it brandy?
I think it's brandy, but let me see. Is cognac in eggnog, right?
Yeah, because I want to make it right this year. I want to do it.
Eggnog is typically made with rum, brandy, or bourbon. There's no need to go premium. They recommend so you can use high proof VS cognac. So you definitely can. The higher alcohol level cut through the sweetness of the rest of the ingredients. So I think the idea is cognac might be a little too sweet for it, but because it's already pretty sweet. But let me see. Let's start with a combination of dark rum and cognac. There's no need to go premium. So you can use cognac. They just don't recommend going super expensive on it, because why?
I think I'm going to do it with brandy this year. I'll try it and just make some legit eggnog, just for funsies.
That sounds pretty good, because I feel like the only eggnog I ever get is the the pre-bought one, but yeah, I think making it would be a whole lot better.
Yeah, I'm going to try making it this year. Try and do it legit.
Nice. Man, dude. Oh, I can't wait I love hot drinks on the holiday, doing and I'm talking drinks, Irish coffees and eggnog, or there's apple cider stuff, spiked apple cider, but the hot apple cider, not seltzer.
Yeah, you can make hot toddies, dude. Hot toddies when it's cold,
Did I tell you my hot toddy story about how I was recommended to make a hot toddy when I was sick, and I was like, cool. But this was still kind of college mentality, and I still had that heavy-handed pour,
Yeah.
So I ended up just getting fucked up.
Hey, shit.
I felt good for a little bit, and then I woke up the next morning feeling twice as bad.
Hey, you got a brief period of some
reprieve,
tranquility, and then fuck it, it's nice.
Yeah. Honestly, it was kind of nice just for a little bit. I'm like, I'm not feeling that bad. And see, and that's why whiskey was a painkiller back then, because it depends on the severity of the pain. Like that time where I had to, have I said that on the show? The story about how I had to, self-surgery something out of my finger.
Yes, you did tell. Yeah, you did tell that story. How you took a couple swigs and just fucking went in there like Dr. Satan.
Yeah, I will say whiskey, it does help, but it does not today, morphine, straight up just makes the pain just not exist. But whiskey, it definitely dulls it. It still hurts like a son of a bitch. And if I was sober, it would be probably traumatizing. But yeah, it's interesting stuff.
And then you can pour it on the wound after to make sure it's clean.
There you go. I think my brother had a friend who was Russian, and she got like a cut, and just got vodka like from during the party, and just poured it on her wound, and everyone's like, ah, because that's a fucking insane thing to do.
Yeah, man. If it works, it works, though.
True. Also, I keep forgetting to add this into the show, but this is today's Elvis fact. Elvis Presley, the undisputed king of rock and roll, was born on January 8th, 1935, in a two-room house in Tupelo, Mississippi. But evidently there was another king, as Elvis was born a twin, but his brother didn't make it through the complicated birth that forced his mother to go through the hospital. And as a result, his mother never had another child and became very attached to her young future monarch of music.
Wow, that's a cool fact. I didn't know he had a twin that just didn't make the cut, huh?
Yeah, didn't quite make it. And who knows, maybe his because it sounds like he got like really coddled as a kid, but who knows, maybe that's half of what made it work. I don't know. Interesting.
Dude, I will take offense to the notion that he was the undisputed king of rock.
Hey, it's this article's words, not mine.
No, I know it's not you. It's a little presumptuous. Like, I know that, oh yeah, he's the king, blah blah blah. Boring music, you know what I mean? Like, it was just not awesome.
Well, it's easy to say that nowadays when like everything is just so in your face, full of flourish and energy and power. But yeah, it's a little bit more subdued back then, for sure.
What about Cannibal Corpse, man? What about Sentient Horror?
Is Cannibal Corpse the new undisputed king of rock and roll?
Yeah.
I don't think the music they make is rock and roll.
Yeah, it depends on, yeah, I guess, but
maybe vaguely, slightly inspired. Maybe.
Hey, they got all the instruments, dude. They just kind of played a little faster. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So it's basically the same thing.
It's really basically the same thing. Yeah.
So how about this? On the heels of Reddit stuff, here's a Reddit thread that's titled "Murder Attempt Survivors: What Happened," which I think is kind of relatable considering we're in the middle of the Dahmer series. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so here's one of the shorter ones. He pointed the gun at my face. This is from the. I should give the usernames. It's only fair. They wrote it. Philly Billy spells the PH. He pointed the gun at my face, pulled the trigger, and it didn't fire. I could have beaten Usain Bolt in the next 10 seconds.
Damn, man.
Lucky. This is from playful_flatulent.
Cool.
Yeah. When I was 7 years old, I made friends with a neighbor girl, and we would frequently have play dates. She had an older brother around 12 to 13 that would babysit us during these hangouts. Babysit in quotation marks. One day, my parents let me go to the place on my own, as their house was in spitting distance of ours, but the brother was the only one home. He assured me that his sister would be home soon, so he lured me out into the backyard, for the backyard of the house was completely fenced in, and the backyard had a tree line surrounding it. He told me to wait by the swing, which I did, and then all of a sudden he charged at me with a sledgehammer. I fell on my back in fear, and his swing landed between my legs on the ground. I ran as fast as I could back to my house, and my parents to this day say it was just horseplay, but I will never forget the look in his eyes after he missed the swing.
Man. Geez. Wait, so how old were they when this happened? Did they say, or were they were just a kid, or?
Yeah, they were about 7 years old. The brother was about 12 or 13.
The brother did this?
Yeah. So it was like this kid, and he was visiting. So this kid is 7 years old. The neighbor girl was also about 7 years old. And the neighbor girl had an older brother at the age of 12, 13. When he went over to the neighbor girl's house, the brother had him go outside and wait by the swing real quick, went inside, and then just charged at him with a sledgehammer.
Fuck, man. Hey.
Yikes. So.
It's boys being boys, man. That's just roughhousing.
Yeah, right. It's just, if it wasn't for the, if he didn't miss though, then the roughhousing would be murder.
Yeah. But it's just, hey, don't be so weak, Roughhouse is good for emotional development. So you know what? Right. They probably are. They're fine.
But most people don't roughhouse with a implement of death.
Yeah. Patrick Bateman does. All right. And he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, totally fine. He's also a fictional character.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this one's a bit of a longer one. I read it beforehand, so I'm going to try to kind of skate by it. While transferring work locations, I was staying with a cousin of mine at the new location. Her psychotic, alcoholic, drug-addicted, vicious ex-boyfriend, whom she had just kicked out of her house, had started stalking her, saw me move in and assumed I was the new boyfriend, and lie in wait for me outside of her house one night and jumped me from behind and slit my throat. Despite losing massive amounts of blood, I didn't die, didn't even feel that bad. So when he was trying to break into her house, presumably to kill her too, I grabbed a baseball bat from the trunk of my car and beat him until I passed out. When I woke up, I wasn't thinking all that clearly, so I went inside, cleaned myself up, and drove to the hospital. My cousin wasn't even home at the time. She had gone to the city with her mother for the weekend to see a show and go shopping. My attacker and I both ended up in the same ICU. I had rendered him a quadriplegic. There's a great deal of civil and criminal legal bullshit to deal with, but in the end, I was cleared of any wrongdoing, and he was put on probation for 10 years. As he was no longer able to as much as brush his own teeth, his lawyer, presumably provided by his wealthy family, convinced the judge/DA that he was no longer a threat to anybody and that the state would be spared the burden of providing him round-the-clock care. I was left in massive debt, did sue him for injuries, but even though he was a trust fund baby, he spent all of his money and had nothing to provide. He died about the same time as probation
Yeah. Well, that's what you get when you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So,
No, totally. No, that guy totally, like, the drug addict guy definitely had it coming and deserves it. And by the way, the username is Atticus, but like ADDD Atticus.
oh, very, very clever.
Interesting. Yeah, it's quite the story. So yeah, how do you feel?
I feel like these people are making these stories up. I never can trust anything Reddit ever says. I only trust 4chan.
Of course, because they're known for their reliability, huh?
Brutal honesty and reliability, man. That's what they're known for.
There's some, yeah, okay, maybe there's something there with that, but here's one more. I was attacked in a friend's house by an ex-husband. He slit her throat and slashed my face with a box cutter before hitting me over the head with a plate, knocking me out temporarily. He then lit the He then lit the place on fire with us in it. I managed to wake up and drag her outside, and a neighbor called the police and ambulance. They caught him 2 days later trying to commit suicide in a Ramada inn. We both lived through it, and now he's serving a life sentence.
That's street justice, buddy.
Damn. Yeah, for real. I can't even imagine how scary that must feel to like survive a murder attempt. Like, well, I mean, I'm sure you'll be the most secure person for the rest of your life, right?
Secure because you're like, yeah, I can handle this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you survived it once. It's that whole fool me once. I'm sure now you got the cameras and the tripwire.
Oh,
yeah, like security, like secure it up.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, dude. They would be like, like Laurie Strode.
Yeah,
in Halloween.
Yeah. I was just about to say, yeah, who's all like prepared and ready to go because she's seen what people are capable of and experienced it, and that makes a change. You know, when you see it happen and you experience it, you just can't trust like that anymore.
Yeah, man, don't play yourself again because you know what? It was your fault the first time. Don't let it be your fault again. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm. And wait, did you say it was their fault the first time?
Yeah, you agreed with it, so let's move on. You said,
piece of shit. I was reading the other one to see if it was good. I played myself fine. Okay, here's another one because I feel like it. It happened during my first year in university. I had 3 roommates at my dorm. A few months into the first semester, one of my roommates had a mental breakdown and attempted to strangle me while I was asleep. I woke up to his hands around my throat, his knees on my chest, and a deranged look on his face. I tried pushing him off of me, clawed at his face, etc., but to no avail. My eyes started to dim and my hands felt leaden, and I was sure I was going to die. But fortunately, my other roommate wasn't asleep. He was lying under the covers and browsing on his phone. The sounds from our struggle caught his attention, and after seeing what was happening, he pushed the attacker off of me and knocked him off on the ground. He then woke up the other roommates, and together we restrained the attacker on the bed and called the university police. Police arrived around 15 minutes later, and after we told them that happened, they called the actual cops. My roommate was arrested and taken to the police station, and then he had another breakdown and bit one of the cops. He was transferred to the psychiatric facility after that and was expelled. Sounds like he got off kind of easy.
Well, you know, if he had some, they probably diagnosed him with some disorder, and then they're like, you know what? So he probably went to a criminal psychiatric facility, where it's less lenient than like a standard treatment hospital, you know?
Right, and they're not good, really, no matter what. Like, yeah, you get like, you know, a little bit more freedoms than like actual prison, but like, still, you know, okay, so maybe it is a worthy sentence,
but. 15 minutes. It took him 15. What were they doing? Jerking off on the way over, stopping by and looking in girls, looking in the co-ed windows. Like, what the fuck were those campus police doing, dude? Oh, yeah, I just got almost choked to death and we're holding the guy down right now. Okay, I'll be over in like 20 minutes. Let me finish this hot dog.
Yeah, I'm at the there's a line for the soda machine. I just want to get this Pepsi before we head over.
Yeah, I've been in line for like 5 minutes already, bro. Let me just finish
Yeah.
this.
Well, bro, I got to sober up before I drive the golf cart over. God damn. Negligence. Just negligent. So yeah, that's some fun stories that are questionably real. But yeah, hope that was kind of fun and in kind of on topic with what the what we've been talking about on the full show.
Yeah, man. Jeffrey Dahmer. Next week, oh man, it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be the conclusion. I'm liking the whole true crime thing. Tasker and I have been true crime buffs for years, a very, very long time. And it's kind of cool to finally be able to talk about this stuff to an audience.
Yeah, bring it up on the show. And it's interesting. It's definitely a different rhythm than what we're used to, because normally we could say whatever the fuck we want about a lot of the stories because their truth and validity is still up for question. See, I didn't say it was fake. I said
Thank you.
Is up for question. Thus, we can just victim blame all we want. But it's been a different, it's a different rhythm. It's been a different and it's interesting though, because this shit really did happen, and I think it's I kind of like it. Yeah, man,
it's cool. I have to really hold my tongue because of exactly what you just said. I can't make too many jokes even when the opportunity arises. Because we have to be respectful, even though it happened many years ago, still have to be respectful. I think that the cutoff time would be like 70 years, 60, 70 years before you can start joking about certain things.
Yeah, where it's kind of been all the shock is gone, all the grievings most of the people they've moved on, had kids, not moved on, but it's more, you can there's a time where we can joke about it.
Right. Case in point is, and this isn't even really a joke, this is just an observation, the assassination of JFK.
Right. That's an excellent point, actually.
That one is just right now with the time when you can start talking about it, joking about it, and too many people won't poop their Pampers. Now, this isn't a joke, but it is, like I said, something I observed, and it's a dark thought that I had the other day because I was watching a video on it, is, of course, in the footage that you see, Jackie Kennedy, in a moment of despair and surprise, literally climbs to the back of the car to try and gather pieces of JFK's head right after it happens.
Matter. Yeah.
And I'll be goddamned if she isn't the thickest first lady that we've ever had. Have you seen her when she goes back to do that?
Jackie Kennedy. I hate you for fucking saying that so much, dude.
Look at that thing, dude.
That's not fair. That is unfair for you to have chained those sentences together and make me think that. Look, god damn.
Yeah, dude, she's hiding a couple hams in there, dude.
She's packing. Good Lord. Hold on, let me enhance.
Oh no. See what I've done?
Yeah, let me see. Okay, I gotta be careful with what I say, because I have found I can get in trouble for what I say on the show.
Yes, you can.
Oh, good Lord. Let's see, is this photo? Oh, wait, no, this photo's fake.
Oh, which one are you looking at? Yeah, there should just be one of her crawling on the back of the car, or crawling towards the back of the car.
Yeah, is that the one where her because there's one where it's the actual the assassination footage video, but then there's a photo of the car itself, it's really close up and it's just butt right in the face.
No, it should be a further shot. It should be be further, yeah.
Okay, because there's one, and that was the one I saw. It was actually from it's from a movie, but yeah. Now I'm looking at the real one, and oof, yeah,
yeah, man. So I mean, that's. Just want to throw it out there. If anybody's, wants to take another look at that footage for other purposes, go ahead. Although I will say, if any of you guys jerk off to that, that's crossing the line, because there's literally a man's head opened up like a watermelon.
Yeah.
Next to the stimulus. Don't do it.
Yes. Quite visible and quite apparent.
At least crop it really well.
Yeah. You really got to put some elbow grease into that to really keep yourself from going down a dark spiral. But that remember that there was that green tech story where it was like this dude who's like found this like this porn video, and then he recognized the video as his friend's mom, who he had known that she was like kind of had a bit of a past, that she did some quote unquote modeling, which most of us are like, yeah, that's porn. And so he got the confirmation, it was just such a match. It was just impossible. It had to be her. So he took the video, and then and this is like a 4chan green tech story, if I didn't say it before, but took the video and kind of like blurred the faces a little bit and stuff like that. And like, edited it to make it less apparent, sent it to his friend jerked off to it, thinking it was great. And then the guy comes over, is like, dude, like, he shows him the clean video. It's like, it's your mom. Dude pukes and like horror and stuff like that. But then they put the pieces together and realized that the dude she was having sex with in the thing looks also a little bit like him. And they realized that was the dad, or the one who and that look, the long and short of it is that porn video was actually the video of the day he was made.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I remember that. That shit was awesome.
The level of meta, like, there's one thing to jerk off to your own conception. That is just layers. There's just, it goes so deep.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Good for him.
Oh my god, that was one of the more shocking stories I think I've heard in the past month.
Man, my eyeballs are heavy. I don't know what is going on with me today, dude. I don't know if it's just like a weekend of debauchery and spicy food or something, man, but my eyes are heavy. I had 3 cups of coffee today, and I'm not feeling the effects.
Damn, I've been there, dude, where you keep slamming caffeine, and it just does. Only thing that really happens, your heart rate just kind of goes up a little bit, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack instead of waking up, and it's just like, oh, awesome. Nice. I'm having heart palpitations.
Well, while in this current state, while we have you in this rare situation, what's on your mind?
If I could be honest with you, man, I have statistics to do after this. That's what's on my mind. It's not like it's daunting or anything. It's just like, I want to get it out of the way. I got to reply to some discussions, and then my PC's bricked. So that's on my mind too. Yeah, dude.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm not when it comes to technology, I'm not very, me, I'm not very savvy. So like, I don't know what happened.
So it just doesn't turn on, or
it turns on?
Okay.
For a while it didn't today, and then I did turn on, and now when it does turn on, it's stuck in a loop. And I looked up the boot loop, the Windows boot loop, but now here's the problem, okay? When I first got this PC, remember, I know nothing about technology, so I think I dug my own grave here. When I first got this PC years ago, this gaming PC,
right?
I was a student at another school, and for some dumb reason, I think it was because that was the only one I had a Microsoft account for, was my school email.
Oh no!
I used that as my main administrator email.
Oh no!
Okay. Now, fast forward to about 2 years ago, my PC stops working, and I take it in and get it looked at. The guy needs to replace a part. He replaces a part, but in doing so, my computer then no longer recognized that I had a Windows key, right? So for the last couple of years, I've been able to play games and stuff, but my Windows technically hasn't been active because I don't know how to recover my Windows key from after he replaced that part. So today I was like, you know what? I need to get my shit together on this PC because it's kind of running slow. And I think some of it has to do with the fact that Windows is technically not active fully. And so I couldn't figure out how to change my administrator email to my actual Microsoft account that I use these days for like Xbox and stuff, the one that I actually use, because I don't have access to my old school email.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure out how to do that. So then I was like, okay, I can download Blizzard. I can re-download Steam and some of my games. So I'll just wipe my computer and start from scratch, because then it'll ask you to log in with your Microsoft account. I'll use my new one. That'll be the new administrator, and I'll be good to go. So I wipe my computer, like I reset it in order to reboot it and then log in with my correct one. But now it won't. Now it's in a booting
It just never starts.
It never starts, and it asks me what I want to start, what operating system I want to start with. I click on Windows 10, it does its motherboard boot, and then it goes back to the same screen asking me what I want to do continuously. And I think the reason is but when I did this, I didn't have Windows activated, and I can't run any scripts because I wiped everything, and there's no administrator. So I don't know what to do. I can't play games anymore.
So you're stuck in the BIOS. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the biosphere. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Because I mean, if you're stuck in there, and if you've already wiped your computer, that's nice because now you have options. But you almost might want to. I don't know if you have a means of like getting like a new like not an up like a new like to basically reinstall Windows like as a whole. And but that's the thing is if it came pre-installed, like you would need to like buy a a Windows build, which is like $50. But that could work. Also, how old is your computer?
I think I got it in late 2016.
Okay, so I mean, like you could technically just say fuck it and just buy a new computer. I mean, like if you haven't been like routinely like updating and like cleaning and like keeping your computer like good to go, like computers usually last about like 10 years or so. So there's that too if you just want to just like skip the middleman and if you have the money for it.
I don't have the money for it.
Okay.
I do. Now, here's what I was thinking is I was trying to watch a bunch of videos to figure this out because like I should have just left it as is. It was fine to have my old email on there. It's just like I couldn't update. I couldn't activate Windows like that. I wanted to activate Windows on my actual Microsoft account, not my old school account that I didn't have access to. So that's why I did that. But now, what I was thinking I could do is I do have a flash drive. And what if I use another computer to download a Windows? Can I download a Windows install on a flash drive? And then at what point do I put that flash drive into my PC when it's booting?
Before you could put it when it's off, just plug it in and then you could turn it on. It'll recognize the USB drive. And yeah, you can definitely get I forgot you could even do that. Yeah. Go on Microsoft and you can sort of get like a reboot of Windows and just start fresh. Yeah, that should work.
I hope so, man, because I fucked up. I can't play VR chat. I can't play like Overwatch because I don't have Overwatch on Xbox. I can't play, WoW. So like right now, that computer is 100% not working.
Yikes. And I know WoW is like it's basically your meth. So I'm sure that's been that explains the hoodie today.
I'm feeling I haven't showered today, dude. I'm feeling monotone and I don't know, like I need to fix this so I can play my Vidya.
Yeah, important. But yeah, and also too, it's like it's almost hesitant to want to like take it in and get it fixed because it sounds like that's what fucked it up to begin with.
Dude, I was so like it wasn't a big deal, but looking back on it, I should have been like, no, you guys need to like figure out my Windows thing. But I was like, whatever, I'll activate it later. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what it would take. I didn't know that I had to either find an old key, which I don't think I have because it came pre-installed, or buy a new one. Luckily, I found a website today that sells Windows keys for very cheap.
I would go through the Microsoft first because I know they have like a reboot of a system that like build you can use before you start buying stuff, and try that first. Because like I said, your computer's kind of like fucked already. So you have that luxury of just kind of trying whatever.
True. That's true. My ultimate goal is to just get Windows back up and running and also have the administrator be my actual Microsoft account with my new email.
No, totally. Yeah. That's going to take some Googling. That's going to take some time, but yeah, God help you.
So anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. You asked me what I'm thinking about. That's what I got going on is I tried to be Geek Squad today and I looked like I was trying to like a monkey first learning how to use fire. That's what happened.
I just imagine you just like see there with just like a stick, just like poking different parts of the computer.
Like, come on, work, man, work.
Why is it? Well, dude, I had a moment like that the other day where I was having some like issues with my USB drive at the front of my computer. And I forget what it was, but I'm only a man. I only have so much patience. There comes a point, and I was like already having a really bad week. And, like anybody, I got a little frustrated and I smacked the USB drive. And then my computer fan goes, and the whole thing just shuts off. and I almost had a fucking heart attack, dude. I thought I fucked my computer, but luckily just a reboot and then it was fine. But like that was fucking horrifying. So yeah, don't strike your computer.
I'll try, dude. I'm a little too tired to get mad at my computer today. I will try to do the flash drive thing. Can I do it on a MacBook and then, or do I have to do it on a Windows computer?
No, if the through the Microsoft website, the file itself, it doesn't really matter the source of the file. So it's like that's the beauty of like flash drives versus like a partitioned what do you fucking call those external hard drives, where if it's a partition drive, that's a fancy way of saying if it's Mac, it'll only work on Mac. If it's Windows, it's only going to work on Windows. USBs tend to be pretty universal, and I know that because that helped my ass in art school when all their computers were Macs and I had a PC. So it should be platform neutral, and all you just get is just the file, the Windows file, and then it should work fine.
Okay, so just download the Windows file from the website while the flash drive is in my laptop.
Yes.
Got it. You know what?
Pull it out and then put it in your PC.
I'll give it a shot, dude. And I'll report back next week and see if it worked. But if I'm not here next week, it's because it didn't work, and I'm selling sex to get a new PC. So,
yeah, this is our wonderful IT Linus Tech Tips version of the podcast today, huh?
Yeah, thanks, man. Actually, I needed that. I tried searching a bunch of videos, but it's just a bunch of Indian guys telling me, and I can't understand anything they're saying, and they're talking about like, not what I need, right? Because everything that I looked up is under the implication that you have an administrator who can run a script to fix things, and I don't have that right now.
Well, that's the issue, especially with problems like that, is they're very specific to the operating system that's going through the problem. It's like you're a doctor, you know. It's like half the work is treating the problem, but the first half of the work is finding out what the fuck the problem is. Like House, yeah,
like that British guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the British guy who's very good at acting American, to the point that what was his name? Somebody like he was on an award show and they thought that he was his British accent was a joke. So the other guys started talking in a British accent, and it was just like, oh,
that's
no,
cringe, dude.
Yeah, who was that? I want to put that guy on blast.
That's racist.
Yeah, was it Zach Braff? Let me see. What's his name? Hugh Laurie, British accent award show. It was Zach Braff. That's hilarious.
That lovable goofball. Of course it was Zach Braff.
Fucking, of course JD would be the one to fucking do something like that. Oh God. All right. Well, anything else you want to add in before we call it a day?
No, man, I'm going to fix my computer, dude. Well, I'll do stats first, and then I'll fix my goddamn computer, because I want to play some video games.
Yeah, it's nice to see a spark of life return to your face. You seemed pretty despondent.
I was like, well, because like, if this thing is bricked, I'm out like $1,600.
That is true. Yeah, no, if my computer went down, like I'd be royally fucked. And actually, let me see, because we're not sponsored by them, but CyberPower PC is a great way to get custom builds.
Oh, and dude, I went to that website after an hour of trying to figure this bullshit out. I went to Cyber, because that's where I got this first one at, and I was very happy with it for years. And I looked at the prices. I was already like looking at them, because like I don't have the excess money to like buy it outright, but they have some pretty good payment plans there where it's like $60 to $80 a month for like a sick PC. But I think I'm going to try and fix it first before I commit to anything.
Right. And if anything, though, too, this is actually in a weird way one of the better times for your computer to shit out on you, because Black Friday is coming up. So you might actually, even if you do hit like worst case scenario, you might be able to get the best possible price for it. And which also, by the way, I've been actively seeking out a PS5 lately.
Well, good luck. You know what, man? Good luck. All I can tell you is that, dude.
Yeah. They honestly, I have like the app and everything. It's like they always just, I found that they restock when I'm asleep or when I don't have my phone on me. And the restocks, like you have like a 3-minute window to get it?
Less. There are people sitting there ready to go for some reason, dude. Like Xbox Series X is a fantastic console, but it's not as sought after as the PS5 because there's just more PlayStation players nowadays.
Right. Yeah.
I still had a devil of a time. I had to have all the tricks up. I had to have the app. There's also some Twitter users you can follow who are very fast at giving restock updates. You turn notifications on for them. You have to have your retailer website pages up, logged in with your credit card information ready to go. On the product page, you have to go through all the steps and you have to be very diligent in order to get it, man. You have to like always have your phone on you. It's a big pain in the ass.
I followed this one Twitter account and immediately they sent me a DM being like, oh, hey, like, which one are you looking for? And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice that they customize it per person. And I'm like, oh, I'm looking for the one with the, cause I want the one with the disc. Cause, I'm a big fan of returning games to GameStop, you know, so I could buy more games for less money.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's like, well, good, lucky for you. We have one in stock. And I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
This is a fucking scam if I ever saw it. There's no fucking way that when I send him 500 of my dollars, I'm going to get a fucking, that I'm going to get anything else but like some like Pampers box with just like a Wii in it or something like that.
Yeah. It's going to be a Nintendo 64, dude. He's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Painted to look like a fucking PS5. Like there's just, I was like, nah, we're not doing this. Like, it's one of those, there's no way it's that easy. There's just, and if it, especially for something in that high demand, and that's something for anybody looking out for it, for something that high demand, there's just zero chance that you can go to somebody and say, oh yeah, we have one. They don't. They don't. Like, if they did and they're not charging you like $800 for it, it's a fucking scam.
Yeah. Yep. Don't listen to those people, man. Just do your due diligence, put in the patience with the apps and the fucking, the Twitter notifications and stuff, and you'll get one eventually, man. I mean, it has to slow down eventually.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope. And I heard they're like ramping up really hard for like Black Friday, that they're hoarding a lot now because they want to make sure they have enough for when it comes around. Because now they have you can only get one per household. So to try to like cut down on scalpers, because you get those assholes that go in and buy like the whole stock, and then there's just nothing and then it's just sitting in this dude's garage and shit. So I'm hoping that I could get lucky, because technically me and my girlfriend were splitting on it, and that's like our see, like this is how you do it as poor people, is our anniversary, Christmas, and Valentine's present, we're just gonna both go in on the PS5, and look, all three holidays are covered.
No, there you go, man. Makes it simple. Don't have to remember to get more gifts. Don't fall into that trap though, homie. At least get flowers or something, because I've been there and it's not cool.
This ain't my first rodeo, man. I'm aware.
Good.
But yeah, so that's some wild shit going on in the world today. Possibility of World War III. PS5 still fucking impossible to get. Tech support, need it more than ever. That's why I'm going into a career in it. So if you think I'm doing okay in terms of doing that for my money, let me know. I'm going to be doing my my Coursera IT course soon. And I also too, for y'all on the show, I might actually not be able to go back to school after all. So maybe I'll have more time for the show, but we'll see.
Yeah, but my ass is still stuck in school. So you know what? You're not. It's not getting rid of me, unfortunately. And I'm just tired, man. Like it's not a school thing. So next week, I think I'm just like, it's been a long weekend. I've been very hungover for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Next week, I will try to cut down on the drinking a little bit and be more, more energetic, more the usual Nick for next episode. All right.
Well, but that's the beauty of this. Is a kickback episode. They knew what they were getting into. Listen to it, and expect you to be just as charismatic as you are in your regular one. Is okay. I guess you can expect maybe at least half the charisma for a kickback episode. Half.
I tried bringing half. The other half was just me bitching about my technology problems.
But and maybe somebody out there listening maybe has the same problem, and now they're up on board with it. Like, we came up with a viable possibility for solutions. So technically, we made some progress today.
That's true. You know what? I'll look at it in a positive light like that. Yes, we did make some progress.
Yeah. That's all pretty good stuff. And it's not every day we can have a podcast end and be like, oh, like, I think we actually made a couple steps forward for ourselves.
Yeah. And we didn't even say anything that would take us back a couple steps.
Yep. Not yet, at least. So we'll see what happens next week.
Yes. There's always next week.
There's always next week. Awesome. Well, I think that's just about it. It's been a nice, chill fall day to record an episode of the podcast, and we'll all hope to see you next week for the thrilling conclusion of Jeffrey Dahmer. And then after that, I believe we'll be almost at our 100th episode special. Will be coming up soon, so look out for that. I think we need to figure out an episode 99, and then we got something really cool in store for the big 100. And hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah, guys, it was fun. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Remember, we're ending Jeffrey Dahmer next week. Tune in.
Yep, you gotta hear it. If you heard it before, hear it again, just with us. Like your Daft Punk impression.
Thank you. Oh, wait, you want a Daft Punk impression? Oh, baguette. Oh, oui, oui.
Oh, parlez-vous. Omelette. Oh, that's terrible. Okay.